And more often than not, the news in a home inspection is actually good and it's not so bad. And I think that, the home inspection process has such a negative connotation to it. It really doesn't need to.
It doesn't need to be dreadful. It's just information about a house, and people just get it all twisted. But what I will tell you is, certainly nobody wants to hear that something's broken or defective on the house that they're trying to sell or they're trying to buy naturally. So I don't mean literally everything that we say is good news. Certainly if something's expensive and broken and dangerous, it's not great news. But it can be better news. And here's how. It all depends on when you get the information. If you're the first person to get that information, it's not that bad. So, for example, if your client, Emilio, is buying a house and we do a home inspection, there was no pre-list inspection, you get the report and you find that there are some things bad. Your side of the transaction has that information first. So now you've got the ball in your court. You can say, hey, you know what? All right, this is something that we can work through. We're going to try to negotiate, money or repairs or whatever. Or you can say, you know what? This is something we don't even want to get tangled up in. Let's just get our deposit back. We'll hurry up and move on, and we'll find a better house. If you're representing the seller, that could be bad news for you because you're trying to sell this house, and you just found out that your buyer walked in, so it can be disheartening. However, if you had done a pre-list home inspection and you were the first one to get the information, now you could do what you got to do with that information. You can either say, you know what, there's a lot wrong with this house, so we have to price it accordingly so that the price still works with the house and the number of repairs that it needs, and that might be fine for a potential seller. It might be a situation where the house has a bunch of stuff wrong with it and the seller maybe can't get the funds that they'd like to get on the house. And now might not be the time to sell. Maybe it's time to plan for some repairs, and maybe it's time to sell in a year or two. Or you can do the repairs rather than getting slammed with a crazy repair request from a buyer that's totally by surprise. So again, having the information first makes it really not bad news.
When you're a buyer, okay, and when you're walking into a home that does not have a pre-list home inspection done, you need to understand that there's probably going to be a big hefty report from 60 to 90 pages coming back at you. Don't let your head spin, okay? Look through that and look at it with your realtor subjectively. Look at the big items and also get rid of about half the pages because they're for information purposes, okay? And then the other ones, look at the big ticket items, 500 plus, and stuff that's not necessarily routine maintenance.
No, these are things we have to put in there because technically if the doorknob doesn't latch, it doesn't function as intended. You're correct. However, there's no reason not to buy a house because there's a bunch of little nitpicky maintenance things. I always tell my customers, stick with items that make it impossible for you to safely occupy the house, finance the house, insure the house, or items that are too expensive for you to maintain the house. Those are what you're focusing on.